Welcome, everyone, to the Pro Baseball Central podcast. This is Joe McDonald, publisher of New York Sports Day, and I'm joined by the official scorer in New York, Howie Karpin, and one of our baseball columnists. Howie, how are you this evening?
Good, Joe.
Good. So how is World Series tomorrow? We are looking at, the Dodgers and the Red Sox facing it. You just posted on New York Sports Day your prediction. So what do you think the Dodgers are going to win?
I just have a funny feeling. It's been a whole year to get back to this point. They centered on that. They made that a mission this season, and they feel they're playing well right now going into the series. The Red Sox are obviously playing very well, but I just have a funny feeling the Dodgers are going to have some factors there that are going to turn their way. I think their pitching is outstanding. I think they can limit this Red Sox offense. And I think that some of their bats are starting to come alive, and they're going to be very tough matchups for some of the Boston guys, unlike what occurred in the ALCS against Houston.
Oh, I get that. I'm going to go with the Red Sox in this series, and that's because they just beat two 100-win teams to get there. And you're seeing the little guys in the lineup doing it. They're doing it with Jackie Bradley Jr. They're doing it with Bradley Holt. They're not, it's not the big guys doing it. So I think they have a pretty decent chance.
Your points are well taken, and that's going to be one of the keys for the Dodgers, to slow down those last three guys in the lineup. Because if they're hitting, they're not only producing for themselves, but they're setting the table for the big three at the front. So if the Dodgers can slow them down, they'll at least have a chance to limit their offense. You said they beat 200-win teams. One of those 100-win teams wasn't a legitimate 100-win team, and that was the Yankees. The Yankees were not as good as their 100 wins may have perceived them to be, as it turned out. The Astros were legit, and I was very surprised that they lost all three games in Houston. Not that they lost the series, but the way they lost the series. Now, look, the Red Sox are going to carry that momentum in. They haven't played since Thursday. And you know how quickly things can change from series to series. You almost have to regenerate everything that you had in the previous series. The Dodgers were obviously severely tested. They have some experience here. Some of the Red Sox guys haven't been in the World Series yet, and you've seen guys falter when they go through it for the first time. I pointed out in the column, Justin Turner had a really awful World Series last year, and he's swinging the bat a lot better at this point in the season. He could be an X factor, and I like the way Yasiel Puig has been playing, although he's combustible. He can go back the other way, but if he's hot, he's going to provide a real problem for the Red Sox pitchers.
Tomorrow also is going to be, there's the other factor too. It's the ballpark factor. I mean,
yes.
It's going to be a very hostile environment for the Dodgers tomorrow at Fenway Park, and it's probably going to be mostly red. There might be a little blue there, but mostly red. Whereas I don't see the Dodgers traditionally. Dodger Stadium does not come alive like the East Coast teams. So even the Dodgers players were complaining about that in the past series, that there was no life in there in the stadium.
To me, it's more of a factor in the beginning when they get used to playing the Karams and the left field monster. Obviously, the Red Sox have an edge defensively in the outfield. But I think the Dodgers can overcome that with their pitching. Plus, with the Red Sox, their outfield defense is terrific, but their third base defense is questionable. Is that going to show up in this series where they make mistakes because you have Nunez or Devers in the lineup? Obviously, Nunez will play against the lefties, and we all know he could be shaky with the glove. The Dodgers are maybe as a whole are not as good defensively as the Red Sox, certainly not in the outfield, but at catcher they're weak, with what Grandal's doing. However, they've been able to overcome, and they prove they can win on the road. Boston's proved they can win on the road. I see a lot of similar factors here, even though the teams were 16 wins apart in the regular season.
Well, definitely going to be. There's definitely factors. I mean, the Dodgers have been in there before. They were there last year. I just think it's a Red Sox series. And that's just a personal opinion. I could be 100% wrong, and you'll be laughing at me probably sometime next week. But, the biggest thing is the factor in the game one. You have Clayton Kershaw on the mound, and he's always been the X factor in these series because he's been up and down. I mean, he's not the Clayton Kershaw of the regular season. He can be hit a lot of times in the postseason.
This is true, but if you think about the matchup tomorrow night, going in, who would you figure to give you more length at this point, Sale or Kershaw? Sale has not pitched a whole lot, and despite what happened in the previous series with the radar gun readings, he's been getting by on his off-speed secondary stuff. His fastball may register 95, but it doesn't have the 95-mile-per-hour life that it usually has. It's been pretty straight. That's why he's been going with the off-speed stuff, which tells me he's not totally healthy. Now, if he's healthy, he's a big factor. He can give you length. But if not, they may get into their bullpen early, and that's where they're going to be tested right off the bat.
And that's a big factor, too, because as we see, the Red Sox bullpen isn't as good as other bullpens they've faced in this. The Yankee bullpen was better. Oh, it should have been better. The Houston bullpen it should have been better. I mean, then the Red Sox bullpen has been very hittable.
Yeah, it has. In the past, but certainly in these two series, it hasn't. But it's funny. The Red Sox got to Cole. Houston's starting pitching was their strength, and the Red Sox blew that blueprint up with their offense. Are they going to be able to do that with this Dodger staff? That's the mystery. You make good points about Sale and Kershaw, and then getting in the Boston bullpen. You're right. I think that what happened with the Astro series and the Yankee series from Game 3 is that their offense took the pressure off their relievers. So the relievers knew they could come in. They didn't have to come in with the mindset that they couldn't make one mistake. They knew their offense was picking them up, and that gave them a little confidence. But I think you're onto something, that the Red Sox bullpen may have been overachieving in these two series, and who knows, are they going to continue to do that here in the World Series?
The one thing is the Red Sox bullpen will be rested compared to maybe the Dodger bullpen, so they may have an advantage there. From what I believe also is, the Dodgers are a very analytical organization. The Red Sox are a very analytical organization. And one of these things these analytical guys like to do, and I know you and I aren't big analytics guys, is to take as many pitches as possible and chase the starters out of the game early. And, so you may see that tomorrow night, seeing them, trying to work counts and trying to work out, 6-7 pitch at bats to try to chase either Kershaw or Sale out of the game.
Yeah, if they're missing the zone. If they're throwing the strikes, you can't stand there and keep taking strikes. You start to swing. The other thing is a big factor here. And, he got Alex Cora, the Red Sox manager, got away with it in the last series. I'm sure we were all saying, why did he stay with Kimbrel there when Kimbrel nearly lost the game, and maybe he screwed up the series? He really rolled the dice there and got away with it. But Kimbrel, who hasn't really faced the Dodgers a whole lot since he came to the Red Sox, has good career numbers against L.A., including the hitters. He's got 9 saves in 16 appearances, and he only has like a 1.5 ERA in those 16 games. Obviously, there's been a little time between, but, maybe he finds what he used to have against these hitters because of the confidence he has, or if he's the Kimbrel that can blow up, is he going to blow a game or two for Boston when they have the lead?
And we've seen it before. That's the killer. Especially when you have a game in hand, the ninth inning, it should be money in the bank, and you blow the lead, it changes the series around. It happened with the Mets a few years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the thing. So your prediction, Dodgers in 7?
Yeah, I'm going with a gut. I know it could blow up on me. I know the Red Sox are very, very good. I pointed out in the column that, if they keep hitting like they've been hitting, it could be a very short series. But I have a funny feeling that the Dodgers are going to break through here. You've seen, it's funny, the Red Sox are on the other end of the 108-win deal in 86. They were trying to knock off a 108-win team in the Mets in 86. In 69, the Mets knocked off a 108 Oriole win team. And now here are the Red Sox with 108 wins trying to win the championship. So, a couple of interesting little tidbits there as we go into tomorrow night.
Yeah, you got the 2 oldest stadiums in baseball, as you pointed out, 2 of the 3, with Wrigley being the other one. So it's going to be kind of that classic look in the World Series. And as a former Brooklyn resident, I can't go with the Dodgers. They left Brooklyn, so I'm going to go with the Red Sox in 7.
Well, you're going to Boston, so you'll be there.
Yep, I'll be up there with Rich Mancuso tomorrow. So hopefully, we'll be speaking maybe over the weekend with games 3, 4, and 5. But we'll have podcasts with me and Rich over the next couple of days. So
all right, I'm sure the fans will enjoy it.
Yep, definitely. So for Howie Karpin, this is Joe McDonald signing off. Hope you enjoyed our World Series preview, and we'll be back tomorrow with another episode of Pro Baseball Central.